Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon the Holy Prophet of Islam, Muhammad, and his immaculate progeny. Dear brothers and sisters all over the world, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to another edition from series of Quran and Today's Life. As you might have already been following this series of shows, we are trying to have a thematic exegesis of the Holy Quran. These thematic exegesis for those who are interested in taking some practical lessons from the divine teachings of the Quran. In our today's show, we are trying to have a discussion on the spirituality from a Quranic point of view. For this, we are joined by respected scholar, Sheikh Hujjatullah Dawoodi from prestigious Hawza Al-Ilmiya of Qom. Before starting our discussion, I'd like to welcome Sheikh Dawoodi to this show and say salam to him and welcome him to this show.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I am so happy that in this program we are together, and inshallah we are going to have a good discussion.
Inshallah, for sure. Thank you. Sheikh Dawoodi, at the very beginning of our discussion, I'd like to ask you about the definition of the spirituality. What, in fact, we are looking for by spirituality. What do we mean by spirituality first? Because, I mean, in order to discover the deep meaning of spirituality, we should at the very beginning know and understand what this spirituality is. So if you give us a very brief definition of it, we would be thankful.
Very good. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. For the definition of spirituality, first of all, I think I should have said that spirituality is a special feeling inside the people that cannot be seen. Mm-hmm. This type of feeling is a kind of feeling like thirstiness, like love, like pain, or something like this. These are different feelings inside. But this special feeling is a special feeling that it is a need for God, mm-hmm. for joining us to perfection, something better than, this usual life.
True.
So I think to have a brief definition for spirituality, we have to say spirituality is a deep feeling inside the peoples that they need God and they need a special relation between themselves and a superpower, something beyond everything. Mm-hmm. So we call it God, and maybe some other people call it something like this. Some people nowadays, they call it energy or something like this. Mm-hmm. But it is a deep feeling inside the people, which we call it a need for something beyond everything.
Okay. Can it merely be taken from the religious teachings, from Quran or some other divine books, or no? It can be taken from anywhere.
I think when we refer to all of the divine religions, especially we say divine religions, but most of the religious teachings, mm-hmm. they want to show something beyond everything for the people. So in all of their teachings, they are going to emphasize on this type of deep feeling for the people. Mm-hmm. So they lead us to a special spirituality. And I think because of that, there are some people who has gone astray. Okay, they have gone through some other spiritual, we say schools of thoughts. Okay, and they found they are not in the straight way. Yeah, they have mm-hmm. gone astray.
You pinpointed the way toward the perfection. That's why we are looking for spirituality. Do you think that, in order to reach to perfection, you only need this, spirituality, only the spirituality, or no, some other material needs of human beings should be, satisfied then? Or let's say, can we have both of them for the perfection, or just spirituality is needed for the perfection?
Of course, yeah. We say that the religion, especially the religion of Islam, that in this program, Quran and Today's Life, yeah. we are going to talk about this, religion point of view on the matter. We say that the Holy Quran take a look at the people's life in two different dimensions. One of them from this direction that say spirituality is a need. And of course we say that there is another dimension for the people's life that is, taking care of material life.
That's true.
Yeah, when we refer to the manner and the life of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, which is the very good example of the Holy Quran, okay, and the Holy Quran shows the Holy Prophet as an example. وَلَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Because of that, we say the Holy Quran wants to say and show a very good sample, example for a good life. So he says, refer to the Holy Prophet.
Okay.
So because of that, I give some examples from his life.
That's why, since the best example that you just provided us with, that is the example of the Holy Prophet. Even in the Holy Prophet's life, we cannot ignore his materialistic needs.
Exactly.
That's why I want to say, can we, in fact, include both sides of it? Spiritual for the perfection, or no?
Exactly.
I want to be guided here. This is my question.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that is right.
Both needs should be satisfied, or only spirituality here is exactly needed for perfection?
No, both of them has to be considered. Because we say that Islam does not take care of one side of it. So we should take care of both, sides. I give an example from the life of the Holy Prophet. Some people came to the Prophet and said that we are living the same as the usual people.
True.
But they were some ladies. They said that our husbands left us and they are living somewhere alone, just they are worshipping or doing dua or something like this. The Holy Prophet became so angry, came to the mosque and announced everybody that I am a person like you. So there is one difference.
Very beautiful.
Just the words of God revealed to me, not to the others. So the Prophet said, I eat like you, I'm living like you, like the others, and also I get married or something. So we say that Islam does not take care of one side of the life. But we say that something that can lead us to perfection, it is one of the ways through spirituality.
Okay, so let's enter our discussion about the spirituality in the Quran. What kind of characteristics has been introduced for spirituality, or the ways which are introduced from a Quranic point of view toward the spirituality? How can we be benefited from Quranic teachings here?
So I come back again from the beginning of our discussion. We say that the definition of the spirituality means a deep feeling to something superpower.
That's true.
So now, in this point, we come to your question that say, from the Holy Quran, okay, we want to prove it and find out some verses that lead us the way. We say that because we want to find a relationship between our life and the power beyond everything, which we call it God. Okay.
True.
So when we refer to Holy Quran, we say that there is a way, one way. If I want to understand something or I get closer to Him, I should be like that things, okay, exactly the same as that one. So through perfection and the way that we want to find perfection, we refer to the verses of Holy Quran and find one way: self-purification.
Self-purification.
Self-purification is one of the greatest ways, okay, that lead us to reach, to the superpower, to reach to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Okay.
So self-purification has been emphasized a lot in Holy Quran, and one by one, inshallah, I will say
pointed
these verses.
to self-purification. How can one start his own self-purification? Is there any instruction from a Quranic point of view? And let's firstly, clarify the self-purification itself. What does it mean?
Okay. There is just one simple instruction in Holy Quran. Okay. If we follow that instruction, we can say that self-purification will happen to us. So we refer to the verses of the Holy Quran, Surah Ash-Shams, وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا. So, at the beginning of this surah of Holy Quran, this chapter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking some oaths to the sun, to different things. And after that, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to prove it completely, wants to ensure us that it will happen. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with a big emphasis, those who know Arabic, literature, they know that قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. Qad is an Arabic word which shows the emphasis, a very, very great emphasis. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. Who are those people who have been, who has reached salvation? Those who are zakkaha. Zakkaha means those who are purified. So it shows the importance and significance of, self-purification.
So this is the significance.
So, and also when we continue, these verses in this surah of Holy
Quality
Quran,
of this self-purification.
we say that قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. It is exactly shows the vice versa. What will happen if we do not purify ourselves? قَدْ خَابَ. خَابَ here means those some people will fail. So some people will be successful, some people will be failed. Who are those who fail? Okay, those who in the Holy Quran says dasaha, those who are buried themselves. Okay, those who has incorrupted, they misguided the way. So if we find out the right way and follow it, this is the very beginning of self-purification. It doesn't need very special, things that, of course, when we want to very, very exactly and greatly find out the way, we refer to some words of, we say, Urafa and the Gnostics like them. They show different steps, okay?
Yeah,
but,
for this.
But we say, because the Holy Quran is for usual people, the Quran has been said for the people, not for a specific type of the people in the society.
For all.
So we say that the Holy Quran shows us a very simple way, which is very, very easy for all of the people, not good for one part of the people.
Well, that much for the importance and excellence of self-purification. But as to, in fact, the quality of self-purification, we have some other questions. Inshallah, we shall be asking them after a very short break. We have a very short break. After that, inshallah, we shall be back and the rest of our discussion. Please stay tuned. Welcome back to Quran and Today's Life and a discussion about the spirituality from Quranic point of view. We have been talking about the importance and excellence of self-purification from a Quranic point of view. When the last question that we posed, and we request the respected expert and the guest of this show to answer and elaborate on, was about the, in fact, the ways to this purification, that all self-purification, are whether introducing the Holy Quran or not. I mean, or we can just face some general guidelines and ways which should be understood and interpreted by the Imams and infallibles. So what is the answer here?
Okay, I think we cannot say completely that there is nothing in Holy Quran to show us the way. The most important and general way has been shown in Holy Quran, that if we follow the words of God, we will reach salvation. So, if we want to find out the details and exactly examples of them, we have to refer to the life and words of the holy Imams, the Holy Prophet, and so on. Because of that, we say, if we want to, we suppose that this is a very big sky and we want to fly in this sky, we need two different wings. One of them is the Holy Quran and another one is the Sunnah of the Holy Prophet and the infallible Imams.
Can we say that even the target and the aim of the mission of the prophets and Imams after the prophets and the successors of the prophets was just to make this notion to be understood by people, that how we can, in fact, start toward walking toward this way, toward perfection. Can it be one of the ends and goals of the missions of the Holy Prophets?
I think in this program, this is our goal. We want to say and we want to prove it from the Holy Quran, verses of the Holy Quran, that the most important goals of the people's life, why we are here, because we want to reach salvation, we want to reach, perfection. So why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent, the Prophet? Because He wanted to show us the way.
That's
so
true.
they are playing a role as a guide for the people. And also referring to the verses of Holy Quran, we again find out that the most important factor and the goal of sending the Prophet was, self-purification. We refer to Surah number 3, the verse number 164, that shows the most significant and important goal of sending the Prophet. هُوَ الَّذِي بَعَثَ فِي الْأُمِّيِّينَ رَسُولًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a God that had sent someone as a messenger to the people. So in this verse of Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to show 3 different missions for this Prophet. So why He has sent this Prophet to the people? First of all, يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُهُ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the Prophet. Why? To say the words of Allah to the people. So because through revelation, he receives the words of God.
It means
and as
to transfer the message.
Exactly. This is one of the missions of the Prophet. So يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُهُ. The second one is يُزَكِّيهِمْ. This is the point of the matter that we are talking about it. We say يُزَكِّيهِمْ means to purify them. So one of the most important goals of the Prophet, to sending the message of the Prophet, the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the
help people get purified.
The second one, how they can be purified, and to help them purify themselves. And the third mission, يُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةِ, to teach them what? The book, okay, the words of the, and hikmah, wisdom. So we say the second
mission of the
Prophet is to purify them. So we say not only in this verse, but in different verses of the Holy Quran, exactly this one has been mentioned.
That's true.
Everyone, also we refer to another, verse, Surah number 2, I think, Surah Baqarah, the verse number 151. Again the same, كما أرسلنا فيكم رسولا منكم يتلو عليكم آياتنا يزكيكم يعلمكم الكتاب والحكمة. So we say again, these 3 missions has been mentioned. I mean, not only in one part of the Holy Quran, in one surah, one chapter, but in different chapters. Everyone knows the Abraham, the Prophet, say that he is the same as a father for all of the divine religions.
Yeah.
So not only in Islam but in Christianity and in Jewish, they believe in Abraham as a very great prophet. So in Holy Quran there is a story of Abraham when he started to make a dua, and pray toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, after he established the house, we call it Kaaba,
the house of Allah.
The house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Kaaba. After they started to build it completely with his son Ismail. So he prayed toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and asked Allah, وَابْعَثُ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِّنْهُمْ يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِكَ يُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ. So again we say in words and dua and the prayer of the Abraham, we see that yuzakkihim, which means purify the people, has been mentioned.
Yeah.
So again, these 3 missions has been mentioned in the words and the prayer of the Abraham, peace be upon him.
So from a Quranic point of view, we understand that even the prophets were sent down just to help people get purified. Now, for let's say beginner in this way, for someone who has not been, mastered in Quranic teachings and Quranic interpretations, how can one understand, in fact, using the knowledge of this self-purification? Where from should he start? What should he do? What techniques can he use here? Would Quran itself would suffice for someone to start with, or no, some other elements are needed here?
Yes, I think for a person who has started from the beginning, very beginning, the Quran is enough to show us the importance, significance of, tazkiyah. This is in English, purification, and to purifying ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But the ways we have to refer to the Sunnah of the Prophet and some other, of course, infallible Imams. So when we study their life, we understand that, okay, there are different ways, okay, to reach salvation. And also the Holy Quran, okay, has mentioned some ways, but because we believe that the words of Quran has been translated through the words of A'immah alayhimus salam, infallible Imams, so we refer to their words to understand the way. Because sometimes I get sick, I go to the doctor will give me a special medicine with a special dose. So the medicine that the doctor is giving to me is different to the medicine that is for the same problem, is giving to the person who is older than me, and also to a child. So we say, the infallible Imams are playing a role as a doctor, okay, that they are making these ways so useful for the specific person. That's for the specific purpose.
Very beautiful. You mean prescriptions are different from one person to another?
Exactly.
So what is the way? How can you said that general outlines are in fact presented by Quran. Now after that, after reciting Quran, after understanding the superficial meaning of the Quran that is available at hand in different tafsir books or exegesis of the Holy Quran, what should one do in order to get closer to this goal, that is self-purification? And in fact taking some lessons from the practical behaviors of the infallible Imams and the Prophet.
Okay, the person who has referred to Holy Quran, okay, and also has referred to the words of infallible Imams, he has understood the significance of self-purification and also has found a way.
That's true.
So I think this is the first step that he should start to go one by one toward God. Mm-hmm. The first things, which is very important, very, very important, is to make God satisfied from ourselves. Mm-hmm. So, radiyallahu radu an, in this, the verse of the Holy Quran shows that those people, so we should do something that the God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will be satisfied with us. So this is the first one. I think if we do everything which is obligatory and we do not do every prohibited action, is the first step that Warafa will tell us to reach salvation.
Very true. So for sure it has some other points and let's say stages to be taken into account, and this would be inshallah the subject and topic of our discussion in next and coming shows. Once again, I thank you, Sheikh Dawati, for your scholarly elaboration on the issue, and you, respected viewers, for watching us up to this point. For sure, inshallah, we'll be talking about some other techniques or stages which are needed to, in fact, take into account toward the way of perfection or the spirituality which is meant by Quran in our next shows. Till our next program, have a very good time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.